I think it's safe to say that we've probably all had our fair share of regrets when it comes to trades in the past, and it's definitely been a question that you guys have been asking me frequently over the last couple of months. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about probably one of my top 3 all-time biggest regrets as an investor. I'm going to take you through why I regret selling the security in the first place and why I wish I was still holding them now and for the next 10 years. And believe it or not, the reason I regret selling them is not because their share price went up. Now, before I start this video, if you want to support the channel, feel free to tap that like button. It's absolutely free and the most effective way of supporting this channel's growth moving forward. Oh, and we are getting close to 10,000 subs, which is obviously insane and could not have been possible without you guys, so thank you very much for the support so far. However, when we hit that milestone, there will be a massive announcement on this channel. Well, at least I think it's a massive announcement anyway, so stay tuned for that one. Anyway, what is this company that I deeply regret selling back in 2017? Well, it's none other than A2 Milk. For those of you that have been in this game for a little while, you will know that this one absolutely came out of nowhere in early 2016 and just blew the market away. However, for whatever reasons, they just didn't pop up on my radar in any significant way until the start of 2017, where my first position in this company was around $2.10 per share. At that point in time, they'd been announcing some pretty decent figures and that had been attaining a lot of growth from various means over that period in time. However, I wasn't a fundamental investor. I was a day trader and my goal was to turn profitable trades frequently. So I didn't really care too much about the fundamentals of the business. I was really getting in there because there was a huge amount of volume going through that company at that point in time. So of course, from me buying at $2.10, the share price slowly kept on creeping up throughout the year. I believe in the end, my first trade ended up being around 40% profit, selling out at around $2.80, I think, somewhere around that anyway. Then of course, like all rookie traders, I thought, wait a second, Chris, you've made a big mistake selling here, and I started chasing. Now, for those of you that don't know, chasing is what you do when you jump out of a trade, regret jumping out of the trade, and then jump back in. Normally, not always, but normally it's a very, very poor choice to make. So anyway, I jumped back in and I was chasing. Thankfully, the share price kept going up for many months after that point in time. Anyway, towards late 2017, I was winding up my day trading career, which will be the topic of another video completely, and I'd sold off all of my positions. I think all in all, I'd probably made between 15 and 30 trades on the company throughout that period, and they were all profitable, thankfully, which resulted in maybe 100% gain over that year sort of period, or 10-month period. Now, of course, looking back, if I would have just held the stock from the start of 2017 until the end of 2017, I probably would have made about a 200% profit or more. However, that wasn't the game I was playing at the time. Now, why I regret selling this company is not because I bought it and sold it and could have made more money over the last 3 or 4 years. That's happened hundreds of times throughout my investing life. However, what has rarely happened before is me selling a company that turned from, I guess you could say, a penny stock into an absolute thoroughbred of a business. To explain why I feel so strongly about this position, let me take you through the books over the last few years. In 2016, A2 were producing roughly $353 million in revenue. In 2019, they produced $1.3 billion in revenue. In 2016, they produced roughly 4 cents earnings per share. In 2019, they produced 38 cents earnings per share. In 2016, they were producing a 31% return on equity. In 2019, it was 42.8%. But it doesn't stop there. Not only have they taken their book value from 9 cents to $1 per share in the same period, they've taken their cash position from $6 million in the bank to $465 million in the bank. One more thing that I love about A2 is that they produce 62% of their revenue in Australia and New Zealand and 32% in China. I mean, with a growing population in both of those regions, there is still plenty of room for expansion, especially in a market where they hold a substantial percentage of the national distributions like Australia and New Zealand. I mean, seriously, this has to be one of the most genuine, high-performing companies on the ASX right now. And not just growth performers, but healthy performers. So you might be asking, well, Chris, why don't you just buy back in now? I mean, you sold in 2017, but that doesn't matter, right? They're presenting great figures and are in solid shape. Why not just start dollar cost averaging back in? Well, this is where we can often struggle at times as value-based investors. They're trading at 33 times current earnings and 15 times book value. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, they are a brilliant company, and if I could purchase at the right price, I would. However, that doesn't negate for the fact that there is no margin of safety in this one at the moment. And it's one of those stocks where it really could go either way short term. I'm sure if there was to be another significant market correction, maybe we would get an opportunity to buy. However, I mean, that's obvious, right? I think any of us would buy if given that opportunity. I think really where the question comes in here is if I would be selling right now if I'd maintained that position from $2 in 2017 and now it was at $20. And this is something that depends very much on your own sort of current situation and goals. So I'm going to answer this for myself in a hypothetical type situation. So in that situation, would I be selling right now? Well, the answer is no. I would be holding and holding very tightly. Now that doesn't mean they couldn't have significant fluctuations over the next 5 or 10 years. However, I genuinely believe these guys will keep producing the goods for a very long time. But like always, I'm just a random guy on the internet and these are just my opinions. So let me know what you guys think about A2 Milk in the comments below. I mean, perhaps you're a current A2 holder. Maybe you sold out and regret it as well. I'd love to keep making more videos like this, so feel free to ask questions about me, the market, or anything below, and hopefully I can put together a video on that topic as well. As always, if you enjoyed the content, feel free to tap that like button. It is the free way of supporting this channel. And of course, feel free to tap that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it. Anyway, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.